I have opinions. I won't share them because that's not my job as a journalist. My kids don't have social media. They're not allowed. How many young girls I have been around that post something, and because they don't get a certain number of likes, they'll take that post down.
I think they've created two identities. One on their social media and one who they really are in real life. What's frustrating now is you come home and it's continuing on your Instagram and on your Facebook and your TikTok. Like, you can't run away 24/7.
No. And we literally were on the cusp of thinking that everything that we have known for the past 40-something years was about to change. This world is crying for help right now. There's so many people, every single one of us, every single person is dealing with something in their lives.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Candid Minds with Dr. T and friends. I'm here today with a really special guest, my good friend Shally Zomorodi. Shally, thank you for joining me.
Oh, I love that. I'm a special friend. I love that.
Absolutely, and I'm really glad you're here today, and I thank you for taking some time to chat. When I was thinking of who I want my next guest to be, I wanted someone to share what it's like being in the spotlight, and someone to talk about, is it difficult to stay authentic? How do you balance that? How do you manage being a journalist, always on TV, and then being active on social media and having a lot of your life exposed and being vulnerable, but then balancing it in terms of your own mental health and being able to be present sometimes when you don't want the whole world to be there. And I was thinking who would be best for the role, and I thought of you. So I appreciate you agreeing to be here, and I'm excited for our conversation.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. And thank you for inviting me. Number one, I don't get opportunities like this every so often to sit down and just talk. And you just ran through a list, like a very heavy list of what my mind is usually thinking about every single day. Like, those are my questions that are in my, because I really don't know the answers to all of those.
So hopefully sitting down with a psychiatrist today, maybe we could unlock a little bit. But yeah. I'm curious, just to even start, why did you agree to come today and share kind of your personal side and have this conversation?
Well, when you reached out to me, there were two words that you put in your email, and as soon as I saw those words, I locked into your email. When you mentioned mental health, that was it for me. So much of what I see and the job that I have, being a journalist, a television news anchor for Fox in San Diego now for 17 years, and I've been a journalist for almost 27 years of my life. So much of what I see and I do every day is based around mental health. The bad things that are happening, people's mental health status, the good things that are happening, people's mental health status. And as I increasingly have aged, matured, become more experienced, I'm now a mom to 4 kids, and I know I have to, at some point, release these children into this world and this society. The mental health of this world has never been more important to me. So my focus and my shift of so much of what I do on my platforms on social media is in this world of mental health. So when I had you reach out to me and say, I want to do something, and I'm doing this podcast that's focused around that, it didn't take me much time to say, okay, we'll make this happen.
Well, I appreciate that. And one way that you can have a positive impact on mental health is through connection. And you have a strong Iranian identity, a Persian identity. A lot of people feel like you're a part of their life.
I am a part of their life. Like, literally, They wake up with me at 3, 4 in the morning, and they've watched me become a mom, and
you're in their living room
and their phones and in their bedrooms. I'm everywhere.
You're everywhere, 100%. And they feel that connection, which is actually very therapeutic, and we know that. I'm curious, though, how have you been able to effectively stay agnostic, right? Even if you look at the quilt of the Iranian community, right? There's Muslims and there's Jews and Zoroastrian and Baha'i, and there's so many people. And one thing that's unique in the way you've reached people is they haven't felt that you're specific to one person, right? Everyone has found a way to connect. How do you think you've been able to do that?
I'm specific to the human soul and spirit. So you will very rarely see me talking about politics in a way that you'll hear my opinion. I have opinions. I won't share them because that's not my job as a journalist. The same with religion. I've tried in every aspect to stay very balanced and very neutral, to tell the stories of people and let people make decisions on what is best for them in their lives. And I've said this quite often before. I will never try to influence you on those very serious and personal subject matters. The only thing I will influence you, I will try to, is to make you dance more and eat more Persian food. That I'm very excited about doing. But as a journalist, I'm not that journalist. Times have changed, and we do have journalists that are very opinionated, and that's what their job is, but that's not the role that I take.
So, I mean, I think you're staying true to what journalism was meant to be in the beginning, right? Staying objective and presenting the facts and letting people judge for themselves. But as times are changing, as the political landscape is changing, do you ever feel that that's more challenging for you to
absolutely
balance that and not let your opinions shine through?
Absolutely. I have an opinion on everything. I'm just like everybody. I have political opinions. I have religious opinions. But that's not what I signed up for, and that was not what my commitment was to the field of journalism. Does it get hard? Yes. When things changed with Iran a few years ago, and we stepped into this really intense world with women, life, freedom, even though I have always been interested and tied to Iran. But the political landscape really changed for, I think, most of us when we saw what happened in Zan Zendegi Azadi, Women, Life, Freedom movement. Yeah. I did become more vocal. And it's hard because sometimes I want to be able to say things, but then when I become opinionated, it changes what my responsibility is as a journalist. So I go in and out. I struggle with the Iran situation.
Sure.
And especially because as a journalist, it's very hard for people to understand this because we're in a very different world right now where everybody's become a reporter, everybody is telling stories, everybody's become an expert. As a journalist or a true journalist, if I am not there, if I did not see it, if I could not confirm it, if I could not validate it, if I don't have credible sources, then we don't report it. It's very difficult to do that. So to take news that is happening on the other side of the world and just take it because it's circulating on social media, which has happened before, and then it's turned out to be false.
Sure.
It's a very dangerous place to be for all of us in society, but in particularly for journalists. So it's tough. It's very, very tough nowadays.
And women, life, freedom, I mean, hits home in many ways, right? Living abroad, in the diaspora, here. Iran today is different from the Iran it was before the revolution, right? So 2 years ago, definitely, I think we saw a shift. But 2 months ago, when you had to report the news, did you find that difficult?
With the 12-day war?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking. I remember reading the news in those 12 days, and I was I could feel the tears building up in my eyes on TV. And I kept saying, Shally, you're on TV. Like, you need to deep breath, and I would get to commercial. And
so that actually is what caught my eye to contact you. I wasn't even going to mention it, but the way you were presenting those 12 days, you were someone else. And it was...
You saw?
100%. 100%. It's one of the reasons I reached out and said, do you ever feel your authenticity is being jeopardized when I reached out to you? Because it looked like you were being tested every single day.
I was being tested every single day, and I have to sit in front of a camera and be tested in front of everybody.
Yeah.
But
Did you ever read something that was on your teleprompter that was hard to read? Like, I didn't write this and I'm presenting it?
No, I mean, they give us a lot of editorial freedom to be able to change things around. I mean, we tell the truth, at least for my station. I don't know about other networks and what other people do, but for us, we report facts and the truth. There are times that things are happening that I want to be vocal about how I feel about them, but that's not, again, what my job is, to share my feelings. It's to tell the truth.
Yeah, no, it requires you to perhaps reset sometimes, right? When it's exhausting, and there could be a burnout that you
Could be, you're saying reset and could be burnout. Let me tell you, on those 12 days, let me tell you what my life was and what it was during Women Life Freedom.
Yeah.
And I sometimes open this up. I'm a very open book. People who follow me on social media know that you will see me without makeup. I'm very raw and real. Life is hard, marriage is hard, raising kids are hard, all of this, everything is hard. And I try to be, but you can't open up your life 24 hours a day. You do, and they're like, oh, she's oversharing, she's doing too much. I would cry on my drive home after doing the news. I was glued to my phone talking to people inside of Iran, finding out what's happening. We literally were on the cusp of thinking that everything that we have known for the past 40-something years was about to change. And I didn't sleep for probably half of those days. I would wake up, even if I went to sleep, which I don't sleep much to begin with, but it was every hour my eyes would just open, looking at the phone. Did something happen? Did something happen? Very hard, very, very hard. And then get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, put on makeup, put on a dress, and go sit in a news environment that not everybody is concerned about what's happening in Iran, and still try to cook, and still try to dance, and still try to report the news in San Diego, but then know that something that is so incredibly important to me and my family, 80% of my family lives in Iran. I haven't seen them in 40-something years.
Wow.
So
Your heart is somewhere else.
oh yeah, my heart is somewhere else.
So how do you recharge in in kind of that setting? How do you protect your own mental health?
I have someone like you in my life. I have someone like you. I have said this on our morning show many times. Huge, huge, huge advocate for mental health. And just as I go to the dentist every 3 months for a teeth cleaning, and I go to my OBGYN doctor for my women's checkup, and we take our kids to the dentist, and I go every now, unfortunately, 2 weeks to color my hair because it's getting gray faster and faster. Everybody should be going to a psychologist, psychiatrist, any type of mental health professional on a regular basis to be able to support what is happening up here and here. And it's so unfortunate that it's not readily available to everybody. I tried to find someone for my children. My son, who's almost 14, came to me a few months ago. Actually, it was last year. And he goes, Mom, because he saw my husband and I every 2 weeks on a Friday. My husband and I leave the kids, and Mommy and Daddy are going out on a date. And our date is first with our marriage family therapist psychologist, and then we go out to dinner. So either some of the dinners, I'm not talking to my husband because we're working through stuff, or we're figuring out our kids, or we are having the best dinner, laughing and giggling because we did work through some stuff. My kids have seen this for so long because we've done this we'll be married 20 years this coming year.
Wow.
Probably 14 years of our married life together, we have somebody. And they've seen it that my eldest son came to me and said, Mom, I want to have a doctor, said the doctor's name. I want to have somebody that I can talk to. Can I tell you, it's been like over a year and I can't find a child psychologist they all want to know if there's something like wrong with him. I said, no, you just want him to have a person and somebody that he can work through teenage life with and not be judged anywhere.
And learn skills. I mean, adolescence is so difficult that even if there isn't active pathology, having the skills to navigate stress and build resilience isn't something that happens naturally. And if someone can coach you through situations to navigate that, that's huge.
Right. And why can't I find one? Why can everybody's booked, nobody's available. And then we wonder why our society is the way that it is. Because we just don't have that support.
Yeah, and it's not prioritized as much as it should be.
No, it's not.
Well, your kids are lucky that you're an advocate and you're a supporter and that you make it a priority. And I hope you find someone soon, right?
I will. I will. At some point I will.
it'll make a big difference for them, especially going through adolescence. The more resources you have, the easier it is.
Yes, yeah, and especially with all the challenges. I mean, look at when you and I were teenagers,
Yeah.
and compare it to what the teens nowadays are going through. I mean, it's just a world of a difference right now, and sometimes it's not easy to go and talk to mom and dad.
Sure.
Right? So to have somebody that's non-judgmental and there, and you got somebody there on your side. How do I figure work situation out? How do I figure out friend situation? What if it's just that quiet sadness?
Yeah.
I'm a very happy person. Everybody knows this. Like, I will blow up your social media with happiness. I can also get really, really sad. It's intense to be a mom, juggling kids, full-time work, living in a world that's really sometimes feels like it's falling apart at the seams. And for anybody to be able to manage this, like, how does anybody do it?
Do you lean into the sadness?
Oh, yeah.
And you're comfortable doing that?
Yeah.
So that's huge. And that's something that I could tell you a lot of our listeners,
They don't.
they're conditioned not to.
Yeah.
And having a good cry is therapeutic.
Oh, I love having a good cry.
Like,
I love having a good cry.
and letting it out and leaning into it for a second. Your mind is trying to tell you something.
Yes.
And if you think you're supposed to always be happy and always be on and always put on a show, many of us are. I mean, you're very on a lot more than the average person.
Right.
But a lot of people have to be on a lot, whether it's to their partner and their spouse, to their kids, at work, to their boss. You're always on, and it's okay to not be on.
It's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
It is. And I think that it's also a skill set, and people can help teach you how to do that. I don't think they taught us when we were kids that it's okay. Like, what do we tell a lot of kids? Stop crying. You don't need to cry. You don't need to cry. You're okay. No, cry. It's okay. It's okay to not be okay. And if we learn how to lean in, because it doesn't feel good.
Right.
You feel weak. You feel like you've lost control. I cry. I cry a lot. I just want to put that out there. So I really think that I'm like this every day, all day, every day. And that actually helps the balance, and it helps bring me back to where I need to be.
Yeah. Well, there's a level of vulnerability there that's scary. And if you can be comfortable being vulnerable,
Yeah.
even if it's just for a couple of minutes, you'll realize that nothing happens.
What do you mean nothing happens?
You don't get hurt.
No.
If you're in a place where you feel safe, and you allow yourself to be vulnerable and take some time to separate from constantly feeling like you have to be someone else or constantly feeling like you have to please other people, prioritizing yourself for those couple of minutes is life-changing, right? It helps you also be very present, because if you're always thinking about the future, which usually thinking about the future is what is the underlying cause of anxiety, or you're always thinking about the past, which is tied to depression, you don't make time for being present. And that's where you're leaning in. That's where the vulnerability comes from. And as you develop more strength, you could stay there for longer. And it's an incredible feeling when you come out of it, right? You have usually an epiphany or a realization or some sort of moment where you have clarity because you spent time navigating that.
I learned that. It's like a muscle.
Yeah.
And I've been around enough smart people like you.
Thank you.
And professionals and people that are educated in this field that they have taught me to train that muscle. It's like your biceps, and it's getting stronger and stronger. And so I've learned that as well. And I hope that people will find that time, that space, and that person to help. Like, so you get a personal trainer, it's like the same thing, and train that muscle to be able to do that.
So when you're in a position that you find yourself having to portray an image of outgoing and music and kind of festive and happy and all these great things, I feel like it could come with some criticism. And I'm curious, how do you social media attracts negative energy, whether you want it to or not. And it takes some level of thick skin to navigate that and not let it get to you. And I'm curious, what is your secret to handling criticism?
Okay. You say it takes a level of thick skin, and while you're saying that, I'm going to adjust those words to it takes a level of understanding. I know now where that negativity comes from. And I know that I can be an allergy and cause allergic reactions.
Triggering.
I call it an allergy, like a happy allergy. Not everybody is in a place in their life where they can see happiness. And when they see somebody, I'll give you a prime example. A few years ago on social media, a woman sent me a message and she said, I created this account because you blocked me in the other account. And I have a zero, here's another rule. I have like this much tolerance for any type of emotional abuse, anything on social media. I don't owe anybody an explanation. My job is to protect my own mental peace. So I would just quietly remove people. I don't fight with anybody. I don't get into it. If you can't remove yourself, I'll help you and I'll remove you. So this lady said, I created this account because you blocked me in the other account and I wanted to reach out to you. She said, I have hated you for many, many years. And one day I woke up and I asked myself, why do I hate Shally so much? And she said, I started to think that in my life, I have a sister and we have like a strange relationship. And then with her and her dad, I think she said something about like financial issues. And she said there was a moment that the light just went on for me that I realized, oh my gosh, I hate Shally because I wish I could be free to be happy like her. And she said, I'm sorry. I wanted to tell you I'm so sorry for the past few years that I've been sending you these hateful messages. I just wanted to be happy. And to see you be that, and I couldn't have that, caused this resentment. It is a message I will never forget for the rest of my life. And it was one of those moments, because it took a lot of work for me to understand, where's this coming from? Like, I wasn't raised like this. I'm genuinely a happy person, and I want to share that with others to inspire people. But then I understood. It wasn't about thick skin anymore. When I look at the people that send this negativity and I start to peel back on their lives, there is anxiety, depression, lack of family support, a lack of internal work. Because happy and peaceful and solid and enlightened and I don't even want to use the word educated because that might not be the right word, but if you're on that path for that, you don't hate on other people like that. Even if you don't like other people, you don't have that need to want to displace that or put that on somebody else. I don't like a lot of people. I don't go out of my way to go tell those people, oh, I don't like you, and why do you do this? I just navigate around them, and I put myself in situations to be around people who make me feel good and inspire me, and now that I understand that, the criticism doesn't bother me anymore. I will sometimes listen to it because maybe I'm doing something that might not be in line with what my messaging is. But as long as the older moms and grandmas, when I see them, come to me and say, oh, Shally June, I love you so much. Like, they're my compass. That generation's really my compass. And so far, every hug and squeeze I get from them, it's a validation that what I'm doing is what I'm trying to do and what I'm meant to do. That message is going where it's supposed to. I feel like if that voice gets so loud that I'm starting to see too many of the sideways looks, or she's trying to do this or she's trying to do that, then I'll sit with myself and reflect and say, yeah, maybe this is a little too much. Let's shift and adjust. But so far, the grandmas and the moms are giving me 2 thumbs up, so we'll keep going.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you know the audience and you know who's connecting, and you read the room and make sure you're responding to it. How did you realize, though, that the best way to handle the criticism is understand that it's coming from a place where the other person must be dealing with something? Because I feel like early on, and it could just come from maturity and experience, but early on, people really personalize criticism.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. I can't tell you how many nights I had this full-blown anxiety. Why are people making these comments on social media? Why weren't there this many likes? Why did this person say this? Like I struggled with it for years, But mental health professional, I have a person. Did I tell you I have a person? Okay. So the more I talk about this and I explore, I sit and I ask the question, where is it coming from? Why is it happening? Am I doing something? I know where my values are. Knowing what my values are, is everything that I'm doing in line with who I am as a person? It takes time to kind of walk that path and then get to a point and say, no, I'm good. This isn't about me. People will love you and they will hate you. And most of the time, almost all of the time, it has nothing to do about you. It's about that person. And when everybody comes up and says, Shally June, oh my gosh, I love you so much, I say that love comes from you because you are filled with love and you see that love. So it's like a reflection, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But one thing we always tell people is if you're in a situation or a circumstance that's making you feel a certain way, your initial reaction is try to change the other person and change the situation and change the circumstance. When in reality, the right answer is to change your reaction and change the way you're framing it and change your perception. So once you're able to do that, once you're able to reframe how you're looking at the situation, quickly the way you're reacting, the way you're feeling, and then eventually the way you're behaving will all change as well. So it's much easier to work on yourself and how you're responding to something than to constantly be like, well, if this person changed and that person changed and that person changed, I'd feel better. Because that's impossible. That's an uphill battle and almost unlikely that you'll be able to change so much. So the fact that you were able to figure that out, that's a huge win.
Yeah. For me, it is. And it's a lot more sleep at night. It's a lot less anxiety and worrying about what everybody thinks about me. And I'm just not in that space anymore. And it feels so much better. So much better.
Yeah, liberating, actually, right? I can imagine someone spending so much time reading the comments and
so many do.
Yeah.
And so many do. And this new generation that sits down and looks at the likes and how many, I can't tell you around how many young girls I have been around that post something, and because they don't get a certain number of likes, they'll take that post down.
Wow. Yeah, the issue with there is also you're very connected as like an adolescent. We talked about adolescence earlier. What was nice in our childhood is you unplug when you come home. So if you had a bad day, if someone made fun of you, if you got into a fight with someone, it ends when you come home. It's unlikely they're going to call your house line to keep fighting.
Yeah.
What's frustrating now is you come home and it's continuing on your Instagram and on your Facebook and your TikTok. Like you can't run away 24/7. No. You're exposed to whatever's happening in school, outside of school. It's very exhausting.
Tough. It's exhausting. But we do have rules in my house to help manage these. So phone goes down for me at some point, like, and people don't know this, but I manage all my own social media accounts. I don't have an admin, but in order to protect my mental well-being and my peace, I have put so many restrictions up on that account that I don't see a lot of the messages anymore. Wow. I had to protect the noise. It gets so loud, and I am a grown woman that is in this business that I just couldn't take the noise anymore. My kids don't have social media. They're not allowed until I don't know when. Maybe in their 30s.
Do they have a phone?
They have a phone for me to reach them because I do need to talk to them and pick them up and find them, but none of them have social media accounts. They know mommy posts on social media. They are part of the dancing on social media. I get their permission down to my 6-year-old. I ask them, is it okay that we do this? Is it okay that mommy shares this? Because it's part of, I don't know if I could go back. Sometimes people ask me this, if I can go back and do it all over again and open up my whole world and family. I'm still on the fence on how to answer that. Because on one hand, we gave up a lot in our privacy. Like I can't.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that.
Yeah,
actually.
I can't
So
go
you're
anywhere.
not to, yeah.
I can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just want to be private for a moment, and I just don't like it when people pinch my son's cheek. Sometimes it becomes so invasive. Like the kids
Yeah.
don't get, and it's love, but they don't understand it, and people don't understand boundaries sometimes.
Right.
But the amount of people we have touched, it's just incredible.
It's powerful. Like I could tell you when I see them playing their instruments, I play the tumbak, and sometimes I look at them and I'm like, I wish I was
Nice.
jamming with you guys.
Hey, we could arrange
Yeah.
that.
You know, I was like, wow, they're really talented. But then it also crosses my mind, and I'm like, am I being too like intrusive by watching this? Like this is like people like in their living room as a family.
Yeah, but I posted it for you to see, right?
Sure. But even I'm thinking like, is this? It's like a family having fun, having like a moment. I don't know.
Yeah, but at the same, like again, it's maybe perspective,
Right.
right? We can look at it two different ways, and I go back and forth on this,
Yeah.
but I think the good still outweighs, at least for us and our family. People have been inspired to pick up an instrument at
100%.
all ages. Like I had a 70-year-old message me and said, "You reminded me that it's not too late to play music." Yes.
Nice.
I can't tell you in these past almost 15, 16, 17 years I've been on social media, how many people have been in the hospital fighting cancer, dealing with some type of disease, and said, "You gave me the energy to want to keep living." Like,
Wow.
how many moms have said, "You helped me get through the hardest times and reminded me to put down the dishes and dance with my kid."
Yeah.
You reminded me to tell my husband, "I want to be your kitty cat." Like, there's just so many things that we've been able to do and lives that we've been able to touch that for me, Shally's personality, who my spirit and soul is all about touching spirit and souls while I'm here. And it's playing right into like my heart song. So there are times that I wish I could delete it all. There really, and maybe one day I will. I haven't so far. I'm still here.
What is a time like that?
What was the time to delete?
No. What is a time where it crosses your mind? I wish I could delete this all.
When life gets heavy, personally, when it gets heavy, when I feel like there's an obligation to help people, it just becomes too much because I'm dealing with my own stuff. I used to want to delete it a lot more when I would emotionally. I literally use the word emotional abuse because that's what I was dealing with for many years, just for dancing and being happy and cooking.
Yeah.
And there was just sometimes I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
For who?
For who?
Yeah. Almost like, are you prioritizing yourself or prioritizing them?
Yes. But
Yeah.
again, perspectives have changed. I'm
Right.
getting closer to like being in my 50s. I'm not there yet. And even if that's when I get there, it's great. I feel blessed to have the life that I have.
Sure.
I do what I love to do every single day. I will delete one day. I will.
Interesting. One thing you've done really well is been able to portray a very authentic version of yourself on social media. And some of our listeners are influencers, and I think they've created two identities. One on their social media, and one who they really are in real life. And they've, for good or for bad, felt the pressure to portray a very picture-perfect life on social media that now borders being dishonest and inauthentic, and almost an exaggerated version of what they think people want to see. What advice would you give them if they feel they're constantly trying to impress and posting things that are kind of artificially created scenarios to portray a picture-perfect life? How do you not fall into that trap?
I think it's a journey that everybody has to go through. It's very hard to listen to people's advice. I did that for a few years when I got started. It feels so much better to be on this side. Like so much more at peace. I still struggle with a lot of normal things that all of us, every human being is going to go through on a day-to-day life, but not having that added pressure to be this noise, like I told you, I've turned it down in my life, has just brought a softness to my life to be able to do the things that really at the end of the day matter. And that is for me to be a mom and to be a wife and to be a daughter and to be me. Like just have some quiet time and not have to answer 24 hours a day to Hassan and Abbas and Lola and whoever it is on there. Like, who are these people? Who are these people? At the end of the day, what I went through 15 years ago, does it matter today?
Right.
Because you don't like me, because I have to be this person for what? You know, I hope those people one day will have that same life bulb moment turn on and they realize, but I think until you really walk in it, you don't get it. And I don't know.
From a mental health perspective, that's a very sophisticated outlook, right? It's not, that's not the knee-jerk reaction.
No.
That's somebody who's processed a lot.
I've processed a lot. I'm like a garbage disposal. I'm telling you, you need to, I tell everybody this. It's about processing, right, Dr. T?
It is.
It's about processing. And that's how we mature and learn. And my 14-year-old son is going to be very different in 1 year, very different in 10 years.
Sure.
I'm going to be different in 5 years. All of us. As my beautiful Dr. Shahim, she's a psychologist that I work with a lot on social media. We're human becomings, and I've learned that. And I constantly tell myself, we're evolving. You can change, you could be better, you could do different. And I hope everybody finds that moment in their lives. Stop living for other people, live for yourself.
100%. I mean, those are really wise words. So you've impacted millions of people, and you do a lot of good, and people are incredibly excited when they see you. I think people start counting down for Nowruz since January now.
I'm already working on Nowruz.
Yeah. It's pretty, like everything. They get to see your mom's bakery. They get to see your kids, your family. They feel like they're part of your life. But if you had to boil it down to the legacy that you want to leave and how you want to be remembered, what would you say is the most important thing to you?
That's a great question. My dad, many years ago in our wedding video, said something that Shally, from when she was a little girl, only knew love. And I hope one day when it's my time to like fly off to another place, that I've left enough of that love dust everywhere here, in my kids, in my community, the next generation of young Iranians that are growing up in a country that is their home, but their faces will always remind them that they're from another place, is to just find that love and lightness in their life. It's a pretty tough world that we're in, and it's getting tougher. And if we can just find that way back to that core of who we are, and just to be light, love, kindness, I hope I'm able to leave that for people every once in a while to say, you know, what would Shally do? She'd turn on some music and dance a little, you know. I hope that's what people will remember me for one day.
I love that. And Shally, you're a beautiful person.
Oh, thank you.
I salute you for the work that you do and for spreading the happiness and joy that you spread. I thank you for being an advocate for mental health and the work that we do.
And I want to say that to you as well. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go for it.
But we need more people like you in this world reaching out. This world is crying for help right now. There's so many people, every single one of us, every single person is dealing with something in their lives. And to have people like you that have their hand out and say, I got you, I'm here to help. I wish that for everybody. So thank you for taking your time and your energy to be able to reach out to a community that, you know, is hurting and is lost and just needs a friend sometimes, and somebody just put a hand out and say, hey, I got you, let's go this way. So thank you to you as well.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you taking the time to join me today. I certainly enjoyed the conversation. You're obviously always welcome back on the show. And yeah, wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. So good to meet you, and keep on dancing.
Absolutely.